Hello guys, welcome back to the Advent of Cyber 2025. Today in this video we are going to explore the Advent of Cyber's Day 19 where the topic is ICS Modbus closed for concern, and let's start this room by clicking the join room option above. So I just don't find that one right now. So anyways, we have the option to start the attack box and the virtual machine. Today we can just start the virtual machine, and I'm not going to start the attack box because I would like to use my own VM, so I'm just using my OpenVPN configuration for that. This seems to be pretty convenient for me before using the attack box. So yeah, I was able to start that properly. So the clock is ticking, investigator, Christmas is hanging by a thread, and only you can pull it back from the brink. Yeah, we do have a little story here and a little bit about the story. Like the snow falls heavily over Verville as chows erupt the TBFC headquarters. So I'm not going to read all of these, but I'm going to read some of these. Like we are supposed to be shipping Christmas presents, right? So yeah, another chocolate egg. So we can see there's a lot of things about exploit, chocolate, a mysterious discovery. As you walk through the warehouse control room, something catches your eye: a crumbled piece of paper on the floor near the PLC terminal. It looks like someone dropped it in a hurry. You pick it up and unfold it. The handwritten is hurried. The handwriting is hurried, almost frantic. So this is the paper that is there, and you stare at the note, confusing washing over you, register, map, coils. What is all this? The terminology is foreign: HR0, C level, Modbus scribbled in the margin, but something about it feels important, like a key you don't yet know how to use. You pocket the note carefully. I'll figure out what this means later. You think for now you need to understand the systems you're dealing with. Little do you know, this crumbled note will be exactly what saves Christmas. Yeah, you do have some of the learning objectives available here. You're going to learn about SCADA, PLCs, programmable logic controllers, and how the Modbus protocol enables communication between industrial devices. Yeah, this is something that you should learn. And now I think we were able to get our target IP here, right? So yeah, let's begin by moving to the task 2. So this is not like a usual AOC 2025. This has 4 tasks available, and we do have some of the theories, and at the end we do have practical, right? So yeah, let's just go to the SCADA. SCADA is basically called a supervisory control and data acquisition. Like SCADA systems are the command centers of industrial operations. They act as a bridge between human operators and the machine doing the work. Think of SCADA as the nervous system of a factory. It senses what's happening, processes that information, and sends commands to make things happen. So it's like a nervous system. So TBFC uses SCADA system to oversee its entirely drone delivery operation. Without it, operators would have no way to monitor hundreds of drones, manage inventory, or ensure package reach the right destinations. It's invisible orchestra of Christmas logistics. So components of SCADA has sensors and actuators, PLCs, programmable logic controllers, and monitoring systems historians. And SCADA in the drone delivery system, we have package type selection, deliveries on routing, visual monitoring, inventory verification, system protection mechanisms, audit logging. Why SCADA systems are targeted, like industry control systems such as SCADA, have become increasingly attractive targets for cybercriminals and nation-state actors. Here's why. You can see that they often run legacy software. They use default credentials, and they are designed for reliability, not security. So they control physical process, and they are often connected to corporate networks. So they use protocols like Modbus, which lacks authentication. So this is something that means the attacker is targeting SCADA because of these kinds of reasons. And you'll be able to read a lot of things about it. So what port is commonly used by the Modbus TCP? So as you can see here, in early 2024, the first ICS OT malware, Frosty Goop, was discovered. The malware was directly interfaced with an industrial control system via Modbus TCP protocol, enabling the arbitrary reads and writes to device registers over TCP port 502. As you can see, anyone who can reach the Modbus, which is port 502 can read and write values without proving their identity. You will be able to read about King Malhar has weaponized these same tactics not to cause blackouts but to sabotage Christmas deliveries by directly manipulating the control systems through Modbus protocol. In the next task, we will explore the PLCs, the component he is actually compromised. So the SCADA is basically running on default port 502 as mentioned here, right? So we are moving to the task 3 where we are going to learn about PLC, which is a programmable logic control. It's an industrial computer which is designed to control machinery and process in real world environments. Unlike your laptop or smartphones, PLCs are purpose built machines engineered for extreme reliability and harsh conditions. You'll be able to see why the PLCs are designed to. It is basically designed to survive harsh environments, run continuously without failure, execute control logic in real time, and interface directly with the physical hardware. These are some of these why PSVs are used. We can see about Modbus, which we already learned about. It's running on port 502. Like Modbus is a communication protocol that industrial devices use to talk to each other. So created in 1979 by Modicon, it's one of the oldest and most widely deployed industrial protocols in the world. Its longevity isn't due to sophisticated features, quite the opposite. Modbus succeeded because it's simple, reliable, and works with almost any device. Think of Modbus as a basic request response conversation. So, client is your computer, PLC. What's your current value of register 0? Server is a PLC. The register 0 currently holds the value 1. The simplicity makes Modbus easy to implement and debug, but it also means security was never a consideration. There's no authentication, no encryption, no authorization checking. So anyone who can reach the Modbus port can read or write any value. It's the equivalent of leaving your house unlocked with a sign saying, "Come in, everything's accessible." So you do have Modbus databases. We can see it's about coils, discrete inputs, and holding registers. Input registers are the types of databases in the Modbus, and its purpose is demonstrated here, and its values are here, and some of the example use cases of these types of database are demonstrated here. So you can see the distinction between the input and output is important. Coils and holding registers are writable. You can change their values to control the system. Discrete inputs and input registers are read only. They reflect sensor measurements that you observe but cannot directly modify. You will be able to read and understand about Modbus and some of those things available here. Now that you understand how the system works, the mission is yours. Hack it back and save Christmas. You can see that in the next task, we'll be use Python and the PyModbus library to investigate the system exactly the way King Malhar attacked it, by directly reading and writing Modbus values. Time to see what he actually changed, right? So yeah, let's move on. You can just read this by yourself. Like the security problem in Modbus is about no authentication, no encryption, no authorization, no integrity checking. So this is something that you need to note. Okay, we are moving to the last practical task. It's about initial reconnaissance. So yeah, we have to perform an nmap scan as demonstrated here, targeting port 22 SSH and port 80 HTTP and port 502 Modbus, and using the target IP. So I'm using my own mission for this particular scan. I don't know how much time does it take to complete the scan because I'm not going to use attack box. So maybe in some scenarios, some of the missions will be slower than what we are expecting. So attack box seems to be faster than what we get in our VM, even after connecting to the Open VPN. In some scenarios, our scan will be slower, and the Open VPN scan or the attack box scan will be faster. So that's the reason I'm just starting attack box also. So if this complete, then we will continue with this. Okay, 66.67%. So I'm just expanding this, disabling the split screen view. And here you can see it's about scanning and enumerating the service versions of port 22 SSH and port 80 HTTP and port 502 Modbus. It's Modbus TCP. And these reports are open according to this. And we specified port 22 80 502 to speed up the scan. If you want to perform a comprehensive scan of all ports, then you can use -p- for scanning all the 65,535 ports. And this is how you will use the command. This is for timing template for faster scanning. However, this will make significantly longer, several minutes, as it scans for 65,535 ports. So port 80 is HTTP service, the CCTV camera feed. Port 502 is the Modbus TCP, the PLC communication protocol. You can just move to this URL in your browser to see if port 80, which is our CCTV. Here is it. Here is the CCTV. How it looks like. So this is something crazy logistics, right? So yeah, status is compromised, disarmed. So this is the demo of CCTV. Looking good, bro. Yeah, here we can see we were able to get the information. The Modbus TCP is open, and the HTTP and SSH is open. We were able to get the information, right? Yeah, let's move on. So we will need to integrate the Modbus server directly. This is where the Python and the PyModbus library becomes essential. Remember that crumbled node you found earlier, pull it out now. The terminology that seemed foreign HR0, C11, Modbus is about to make perfect sense. The step 1 to 5 are optional and you can just read along with them. So first one is about installing the Python PyModbus module. Let me try to install in my own machine. This seems to be optional, right? So yeah, let's also move on till step 5 is optional. Okay, now we can see that we have the complete reconnaissance script. Let's create a comprehensive script to see the full system state. Access the Python interpreter, control D, then create a new file. So this is copy and paste the following code. Let's copy this code. Here is it, and I'm just saving it in my notepad and saving this as the file name that they specify, which is reconnaissance.py. Now I'm just using the Python 3 reconnaissance.py. Here I'm just getting error. So you can see PyModbus was not there. So that's why it's recommended to use attack box. I do have attack box also, so I'm just nano. I'm just using the nano command. Like I'm just copy and paste that. That seems to be good. Let me use the nano command. So I'm not able to paste. Let me use the clipboard here. Pasting that here. Now I'm just copying and pasting that. Here is it. That's it. It's done. It's done. So now Python 3 reconnaissance.py. Here it is. It worked, right? So that's why it is sometimes attack box seems to be useful, right? So we were able to get the report. It's about reconnaissance report, and this is the report. So which I think I was read that before, like in the task one. I think I'm not sure, but let me view the introduction. So yeah, this seems to be the same. No, it's different. So yeah, anyways, let's move on. Yeah, with the practical task. Here you can see we just skipped the 5 of them, right? So and we are here, and you can see we just executed this safe remediation. You can see we have to use this restore christmas.py, so we can also use that. I think we have to copy that in the clipboard. So let me, oops, yeah, I just used that. Now let me copy this code. After copying this, and I'm just trying to paste it here. I think I have to eliminate the space. Okay, now it's done. So now I can just paste that here. Control Shift V. Yeah, that's done. So Control X Y to save that. So after that, you can just run using the Python 3 command. Python 3 restore christmas.py. What, man? I just forgot that to add in the clipboard. that's it. So yeah, it's working. In the meantime, let me drink some water, guys. Yeah, it's success, and we were able to get the flag right. Egmas over. Christmas is saved. Christmas deliveries have been restored. The drones will now deliver presents, not eggs. Check the CCTV feed to see the result. Like we can see that system is restored now. This seems to be pretty great, right? So yeah, this is about it, guys. So yeah, this is the flag. Is It's about we were able to get all those codes from here. You don't have to create one, so that's why I consider this as an easy lab. And TryHackMe said this is a medium lab, but everything is mentioned here and you don't have to think a lot more about it. So you can just read some of these to understand how it is and how it works on related things. So we were able to get the flag right. So we can see it's verifying the current system state, package, and disabling the protection mechanism, setting package type to Christmas presets, enabling audit logging, enabling inventory verification, verifying system restoration. Christmas is saved. So the Christmas delivers have been restored. The drones will now deliver presents, not eggs. Check the CCTV feed to see the results. We were able to get the flag, right? So I'm just copying that and pasting it here. And that's it. If you enjoyed today's room, you can also use this OT challenge industrial intrusion room. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.